Here we are live, Playboy, playing with the house money, on front row, in your face, big bag bets. Yeah, shit, it's going motherfucking down over here. If you want to cash a ticket, this where you need to be, live and in living color. Dixie Parlay Fair, live from Playing with the House Money, where we have done so much with so little for so long that it seems we can do anything with nothing at all in no time flat. Now let's get to the money. Welcome to another Saturday edition of Playing with the House Money, Week 2 College Football Predictions 2025. We'll be giving you an analysis on the side, the total, and the prediction on all games available. We'll be starting out with the Friday slate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment whether you agree or disagree. We want to hear from you, your likes and dislikes. Let's get right to this shit, man.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Isn't that why you're here?
Playing with the House Money, Week 2 Extended Edition. We would like to sadly inform you now that these will be short analysis. We will do our best to give you as much information as we can, but we will certainly try to give you a side and a total on each game. Now let's get to the money. What we have here is Wake Forest minus 19.5 against Western Carolina. Wake Forest was a 4-8 last year. They'll be headed up by quarterback Robbie Ashford, who last week against Kennesaw State was not very good. Ashford did okay, but without any touchdowns. He was 20 of 28 for 218 yards, no touchdown. That's not going to get it. On the side of the ball resides a Western Carolina quarterback, T. Dickens, who had an incredible outing. 36 of 46, 408 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I'm definitely not going to trust Wake in this spot. Even though it's a FBS-FCS matchup, I'm going to take the FCS team. Wake Forest 41W, Carolina 31. Next step, we have Temple minus 28.5 against Howard with a total of 47.5. Last week, Temple had an unusual outing. I said that because they dominated the game against UMass. They won convincingly, 42-10. Quarterback Evan Simon was sensational, 119 or 25, 248 yards and 6 touchdowns. I can't say the same, but it's Howard team who lost to Morgan by 2 touchdowns. I just don't think this would be close. I think people can do the same thing. Easy money, Temple 52, Howard 17. Next up is Georgia minus 45.5 against Austin Peay with a total of 55.5. You already know the total is going over. That's a given. The thing is, can Georgia cover 45? Georgia can cover 45, but we know they like to let those teams score late touchdowns in the game. It always happens. You were waiting on Georgia quarterback Gunnar Stockton to show us what he could do. I guess he gave us a little something, going 14 of 24 for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that's against a Marshall team that has been totally obliterated by transfer and the coach leaving Austin Peay. A FCS team faced a FBS team in Middle Tennessee and did pretty good. They were Pleasant 15 and they won by 20. With that being said, there's no doubt about it. Austin Peay will cover this game. Georgia 45, Austin Peay 14. We're going to do it because we say we're going to do it. New Mexico minus 17.5 against Idaho State with a total of 60.5. New Mexico went to Michigan week 1. Of course, they lost, but they did cover the spread. They only had 50-yard rushing, 217 yards passing. Actually, Jay Lane, the quarterback, threw 3 interceptions. I don't think that'll be the case today. They'll be going up against the Idaho State team who really took UNLV to the wire in week 0. I think giving Idaho State 17.5 is way too much. I'm calling for an upset. Idaho State 38, New Mexico 31. The fuck just happened? Sorry, I'm watching the game and my money. Next up, we have minus 37.5 against Garner-Webb with a total of 59.5. Georgia Tech went to Colorado week 0 and won 27-20, and they rushed for astounding 320 yards on the Colorado Buffaloes, but only passed for 143 yards. That's a hell of a rushing attack to start out with. I like Georgia Tech in a rout. Georgia Tech 60, Gardner-Webb 10. In this game, we have Oregon State at home minus 1 against Fresno State with a total of 46. I put a lot of stock in the Fresno State end. Game 1 against Kansas, and they let me down. E.J. Warner is still a bum. Last week, he didn't throw a touchdown, and they won 42-14. You think he would have squeezed him a TD in there somewhere. Oregon State came out the gate and fell flat on their face against Cal. I don't know if I could trust Fresno State on the road. I can't trust Oregon State at home, but since I have to give me Fresno State again, Fresno State 31, Oregon State 21. Here we go. Is this a team? I really like Mississippi minus 8.5 at Kentucky with a total of 51. Quarterback Austin Simmons is a Heisman Trophy candidate, even though in his first outing he was 20 of 31, 341 yards, 3 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. I think he can clean those interceptions up. They crushed Georgia State 63-7. I took them in the game and I took over. Kentucky, on the other hand, was minus 10 against Toledo at home. They won 24-16. They didn't cover the spread of 10. I love Lane Kiffin. I love Mississippi. I love the receivers. I love this quarterback. Mississippi 41, Kentucky 21. It's been a lot of shit talking in this game already. Oregon minus 28 against Oklahoma State with a total of 55. Coach Mike Gundy says because of Phil Knight, owner of Nike, Oregon has too much NIL money. Well, last I checked, it was a lot of rich mooffuckers in Oklahoma. They better share some of that bread and get your weight up. Of course, they both won the first game. Oklahoma State did away with bottom feeder. Tennessee Martin, Oregon crushed. Montana State 59-13 behind quarterback Dante Moore's efficient evening going 18 of 23 for 213 yards. 3 interceptions. I think with this war of words, this game is not going to get out of hand. We're going to take the points here. Oregon 30, Oklahoma State 20. Yeah, we have a lopsided matchup. Ohio State minus 55.5 against Grambling State with a total of 62. Grambling State is a really, really bad team. Ohio State struggled last week, so we know they're going to take it out on these guys. Ohio State 70, Grambling State 14. Next up, Missouri 5-1-2 against Kansas with a total of 50. In Missouri's first game, they crushed Central Arkansas 61-6. They rushed for 219 yards and passed for 341. You do the math. The opponent, Kansas, has been dominate the first 2 games, smashing Wagner 46-7 and 31-7 against Fresno State. Jaden Daniels has been a beast since this is a border matchup. I'm taking a 5.5. Kansas 28, Missouri 21. Yeah, Clemson minus 31 against Troy with a total of 52-2. Last week, I gave out LSU over Clemson. I don't think Cade Klubnik, Dabo Sweeney. As a matter of fact, Clemson's whole team is really not cut like that. Of course, they're going to take it out on Troy. It's just a bounce-back game. Clemson 56, Troy 7, North Texas minus 11.5 against Western Michigan with a total of 56. I know what North Texas did last week to Lamar, 51-0, and I know Western Michigan lost against Michigan State Power 4 school. I don't think North Texas is going to be going on the road fronting all kind of points. Whatever the front, nobody's going to pay for it. They're going to run off. North Texas in a close one. North Texas 42, Western Michigan 35, Colorado 24 against Delaware with a total of 50. This is easy. Dion has to make a statement win. Colorado 56, Delaware 7. Let's go Service Academy. Navy minus 21 against UAB with a total of 58.5. These 2 teams played last year. The final score was Navy 41, UAB 18, and that was at UAB. I think we'll get much of the same. Navy 48, UAB 21. UMass minus 14.5 against Bryant with a total of 52. Bryant and UMass are both bums. Remember the bum bowl rule? One bum can't give another bum nothing. A pissy sweater, a bum girlfriend, worn out shoes. UMass 21, Bryant 20, Cincinnati minus 23 against Bowling Green with a total of 46. They both won last week, but I think 23 is a little too much because they're sort of from the same area, so it might be a little bit of a rivalry between high school players. Cincinnati 35, Bowling Green 21, Tennessee minus 40.5 against East Tennessee State with a total of 58. Tennessee in a rout. Tennessee 66E, Tennessee State 17, App State minus 31 against Linwood with a total of 56. App State 48, Linwood 10, Rutgers minus 14.5 against Miami, Ohio with a total of 45.5. Rutgers' first game out last week was a close win against Ohio. I don't think my Miami, Ohio has an offense that could actually compete. Rutgers 42, Miami, Ohio, 0 West Virginia minus 3.5 against Ohio with a total of 58.5. They both won last week. and Ohio put out a really good product against Rutgers. I expect this game to be closer than most people think. I like Ohio to cover the money. West Virginia 31, Ohio 30, Wisconsin 28, 1-2 against Middle Tennessee with a total of 45, 1-2. I see Wisconsin in a rout. Wisconsin 48, Middle Tennessee 7, Wyoming minus 14 against Northern Iowa with a total of 47.5. Wow, I went on the road first game against Akron, actually giving a points and eat out. A win. 10-0 probably won't be a lot of scoring in this game because Wyoming has good defense at home. Wyoming 17, Northern Iowa 10, Florida minus 18 against South Florida with a total 57.5. Florida came out the gate last week, I guess, just to get their stick wet with a 55-0 win over LIU, a bottom feeder. South Florida, on the other hand, shocked you all with a 34-7 shellicing of Boise State. I don't think Florida's going to run away with this because I'm from Miami, Florida. And one thing I know, Florida boys, when they get down, and it's going to be a lot of beef because all these guys play high school championships against each other. Florida 24S, Florida 17, and we're going to keep it under the total. Don't go anywhere. Late segment coming up soon.